So when you get a unit and it's come built up, at times when we've been thrown about or in factory, can you see the gap there? Right, now that gap, because these are glued in dowels in the factory, first what you can do, get a block of wood, try eat it, see if it goes together. Right, so the glue's set on that, so it's not going together properly, so we can have it down. So just pull it apart, cut it with your jigsaw, then a couple of long screws and bang it in. Yeah. Make sure you take that end off. Do it this way so you can see all I'm doing is taking the end off. Keeping it away from the unit. Then bang a screw in it. Push it back. Screw it in. And that's how you get rid of the gap. Because no matter where you get your units from, this always happens. I've had them from, I must have them from about 10 different suppliers. And it always happens. But the one way you can guarantee it, if it's glued in, it's not a big deal. Just cut it off, cut the lug off, and screw it back up. Make sure your screws go right in. Make sure your screws go right in, and it's bang on. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put a screw in each of them, just to make sure when I'm clamping them up they don't pull apart. And then it just saves you a load of time, you don't want gaps in it. And then we'll crack on and get island done. This is for the island which I'm building up now. So what I've done, you always make sure the top's flush. The bottom, you may have a little lip on it. That's because two side panels are never ever mill perfect. So people say, oh yeah, they're not. They're lying to you. So all you have to do is make sure that this front edge is flush all the way down. Make sure it's flush there, and you won't notice it at the bottom where you put your unit in. 30mm screws. I always screw it in from the draw side because you'll never see them once draw goes in, so you don't need to cap them. Always screw it in where you clamp it first, otherwise you'll have to drill it because it'll push it out. Screw them in flush, and then all you have to do is move your clamp up. Like so. Always make sure that you get one in the top corner as well. So what you might find is, when you got a line of units, especially on a big wall, if you try pushing them back and that wall's bowed, you start pulling them out of it. So I always like to get them in like that. And then I'll put one at the back. This is going to be for this island. We're going to have a panel on the back of there. Just make sure it's clamped in. Beautiful. Now what you got to do, all them are nice and flush. Now see that, what I mean about different levels. Now you're going to get that, but that won't affect you because worktop's going to go on top, and it's not going to affect the look of it or the level of it. So you've got to make sure that the front edges are flush, because that will affect it. Because when you open the door, you're going to see that edge, and you don't want to see that edge. You want to see that edge flush. So everything you see, you got to make sure it's flush and right. Everything you don't see, you can't do aught about that. You could shave it off, but then you're cutting into units, it's pointless. Sometimes, depending on where the kitchen comes from, if they are a bigger lip, I'll plane them with my planer, just to make them flush. But no matter where you get them from, they're all the same. Unless you're paying mega bucks, and then there's still going to be a couple of mil, or at least a mil. I've never seen one what in. Once we get all that in, we've got a panel outside there. I'm going to bring that panel in. I'm going to fix that onto the back here, and then we'll see where we go. We'll position the island, lift it up, lift it out. I'm leaving $1.50 m gap when I'm putting this island in. So I'm leaving $1.50 m. So that much. So what you got to think is a dishwasher here. It's going to be a dishwasher here. So when we pull that door down, if you don't leave enough space here, you're not going to pull the door down. And when you're pulling it down, you're going to catch your arm. So $1.50 m to the front of the worktop, as you can vision, pulling it down, you've got some room. Always remember, you do need working space. We're putting an island in, and this is a working round kitchen, but you still need the working space to work in it. Just remember that when you're setting the island up. All I'm doing first, I'm getting my panels on flush with the back, flush with the top. And then my big panel, when I get it in, I know where I'm going to put it. Use your clamps. It's where you got to make sure that your panel is going nice and flush all the way around and all the way back. Yeah. So make sure it's flush at the back, make sure it's flush at the top, all the way around, nicely. Clamp it up. Now when you're screwing these woods in, these panels in, some panels might be 20 mil, some panels might be 15 mil, some panels might be 12 mil. So always make sure, before you place that screw in this panel, just put it on top like that. I know these are going to fit because I know what I'm using, but when I first started out, believe me, put plenty through them. So always double check. Double check. Nice, flush, all the way around. And then screw it in. I'm screwing it in where the hinge is going to go. So when I put the hinge on it, you're not going to see that screw. So screw it in flush so you don't see the screw. Wherever you screw it, make sure you clamp it. For this panel, I'm just going to take my clamps off and I'm screwing it at the back of it. down the back edge here. When you're building an island up, you just got to remember it's just like Lego. If any of you got kids and you build Lego with your young uns, you'll know. If your blocks aren't sturdy and solid, falls over. Well, that's the same principle with your island. You don't make your island nice, firm, solid. It's sat freestanding by itself. It's just going to fall. Plenty of screws, plenty of brackets. Get them locked in. You only want to be doing it once, and you don't want that big wobble on it. What we're doing here, we're putting a double oven in and a microwave. So a double oven and microwave, I know it has to be a 900 and a 450 gap. Then we've got the tall units. These units, they've got a label which you can actually scan. It's quite clever. And then that takes you onto online, and then you can check out all them different ones to find out which you want. Now I'm going to show you a very easy and quick way of doing it. So you door and you draw, the bottom drawer, this is the door size. These have got exact same size, 3/16 drawer fronts. One's a flipper, one's a drawer. Just turn it upside down, put it on there, mark a pencil there. Turn it upside down, put it on there, mark your pencil line there. So now, can you see how many holes are in this unit here? Can they see that on camera? So it can be confusing, but the easiest and quickest way is just unwrap your drawer, mark it, so now I know it's that line there, it's that one and that one, and then above here it's that one and that one. So now all I'll do is I'll just unscrew these grommets out, screw them in there, bang my panel on, and that's it, it's done. Then you just have to cut the backs out there, because they don't normally have a back in them. You only have a back in them so far. It's no good for the oven, that. You need ventilation, so you need to take it out. So I put my shelf on, then I draw a line, cut that back out where I need to. So you'll have the backing at the top, backing at the bottom, and it'll be gone in the middle where the cooker slides in. And that's how you want to be doing them. Or the other option is you can spend an hour picking through, seeing if you get the right one. And then if you haven't got the right one, put it on, and then when you get the drawer out, put it on and it don't work. So I just find it quicker just to get the front, put the front up, mark it, you know for the fact the shelf has to go there. Put drawer on, mark it, you know drawer has to go there. So you know a shelf has to go there. And that's how I get my integrated appliances. Then all I'll do is I'll measure up from that shelf 900, put another shelf, my microwave will sit on there, and then that part will just be a little filler panel. That's it.